Then I shampoo for a second time. And then I use conditioner. I used to combine those, the cheap shampoos with the conditioner added. I don't dig that anymore. I get the watermelon shampoo. The watermelon smelling shampoo. I might have to trademark that. The watermelon smelling shampoo. The watermelon smelling conditioner.
Hello, and welcome to the Squad Life podcast. The best thing since being able to type text into a computer and have it read aloud. My name is BatBot4000. It is my job, my mission, my calling to introduce your host for this episode, the amazing, the hilarious, the best, the Brandon Ward.
Wow, thank you, BatBot4000. That was really nice things to say about me. It's not like I forced you to say them or typed you into a text box to make you read them to me, because I don't ever hear those kind of words about me enough. But for real, welcome to our 13th episode of the Squad Life podcast. We are a man short because our man, Spicy White, is going to be getting married tomorrow, which means he's going to have a lot of stuff going on today. A little different. We are recording in the morning rather than the night, so if we sound groggily, that's why. And I hope you enjoyed BatBot4000 because he will be a part of this podcast every now and then. Very, very rarely, but when he does, it'll be amazing. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to our week. So this week, we are going to kind of let you know what we did in an epic trailer voice. I don't know if you've ever heard a trailer before, but if you haven't, you're going to hear it from us in the form of our week. So we're going to start with you, Camper. What did you do this week?
Coming to you this fall, the greatest week that you have ever heard about. I don't know what else to say after that.
Okay, well,
like for a trailer, I know what happened in my week. Widely accepted by critics as the most funny, the most epic, the most any other great adjective that you can think of as far as weeks go. This is a must-see. Introducing to you Camper's Week, where he's done everything from playing video games to drinking coffee to signing up for classes this fall semester and producing the best podcast ever. Make sure you see it. This is Camper's Week, coming to a theater near you.
That sounds like a movie, or that sounds like a storyline of a book I wouldn't read, but a movie I would watch.
Yes.
I was waiting for the random explosions, but
I can't make a whole lot of explosion noises with my mouth.
Kaboom!
I'm kind of limited with that.
All right, Cody, since Jake is absent, let's go ahead and hear about your week in your epic trailer voice.
All right. In a world where exams and practicals steal the life from fresh-faced grad students, one student, along with the rest of his class, battle the professors who devised the evil tests in an effort to save their sanity. 10 whole days without school will be their reward if they can survive. Will the PT class of 2020 make it? Watch as they have late-night study sessions and 4-hour softball/soccer/ultimate frisbee sports sessions, all while trying not to pull out all their hair. Or actually strike their professors. Starring Chicken Pot Pie, Netflix, Coffee, and yours truly. No professors were harmed during the making of this movie.
That's amazing.
That was so good.
That's amazing. I don't even want to go after that. I feel like I should have gone before Cody now.
Honestly, don't think that would have been nearly as good if it wasn't in the morning, because like Brandon said before we started recording, voices are a lot deeper in the mornings.
I don't really want to go after that, but I'm going to anyway. I may need some encouragement. Here we go. Coming soon to an ear near you comes a story about a man on a mission. A man who lives in a world in need of a hero. A world full of chaos, anarchy, fear, peril. This man finally stands up and does nothing. Literally, he does nothing. This week has not really been that busy for me. I watched my nephew and my niece yesterday. That was pretty fun. We argued about whether or not a kilt was a dress or not, which my nephew's wrong. It's a kilt. It's not a dress. Anyway, hope you enjoyed my trailer. Like I said, I didn't want to go after Cody.
What a great movie. Brandon, you are the best.
Oh, thank you, Pat Pop 4000. You're the best. You're so sweet. It's like my self-esteem booster. Like, you know how people have comfort pets? I feel like this is my comfort pet.
Yeah, a pet robot. That works.
Yeah. Wow. He's better than Alfred. Anyway, that I'm glad that we all had good weeks. Like I said, Spicy's getting ready for his wedding. That's tomorrow. So we want to wish him and Ashlyn just a great wedding day.
Yep.
Yes.
We're all going to be there. Camper, you and I are part of it. So we're just looking forward to that. And we just wish y'all the best. So that's obviously what Spicy Whites is. If we had to put an epic trailer voice on it, it'd be wedding.
Yeah, that's it. Just a teaser trailer.
Yeah, it's a teaser trailer. The sequel comes out at the 1-year anniversary.
Right.
But anyway, that's just our weeks. So I hope you enjoyed the epic trailer voices. I definitely enjoyed Cody's.
It was so
No
good.
Offense Camper. It was really good.
I can't compete with that.
Now we're going to move into our main topics, and Camper Cobra, you got our first one this week. What you got?
Yep. This week, I thought it would be cool. I really enjoyed our discussion on nostalgia that I brought to the table a few weeks ago. So I kind of wanted to go along the same route there, and especially with you two joining me, I thought it would be great if we talked about OCD, or obsessive compulsive disorder. And doing some research on it, I've watched a number of videos, read a number of articles, and started defining a few terms. And I quickly realized that although many of us are quick to say that, something is bugging my OCD, or, my OCD is going bonkers because something's out of order here, a lot of us do not have OCD. That is the D at the end of OCD, is that it is a disorder. So, while we talk about this and as we spend the next few minutes on it, I do want to preface it by saying that, some people are clinically diagnosed with this disorder, and it does affect their daily lives, and some more than others, but generally speaking, it is something that if you are dealing with, then it is a pain to deal with. So keep that in mind as we talk about this, if you would. And to any of those out there who may struggle with this, this is not making fun of you or whatever. This is us just kind of bringing a comedic twist to some of the obsessions that we have in our lives and kind of how we deal with those, even if we are not clinically diagnosed with this disorder. But to give you a little background quick, let me give you just the basic definition of obsessive compulsive disorder. This article is from the website everydayhealth.com. Just a quick Google search will bring you here. They quickly define the first two words in OCD. Or if you are OCD, I don't know why people don't make a bigger deal out of it not being in alphabetical order. But anyway, he defines obsessions. This is thoughts, images, or impulses that occur over and over again and feel out of a person's control. So essentially, if someone has OCD, they obsess over something. And a lot of times it comes out in cleanliness, it comes out in order. They constantly worry about if there's germs on them, or they constantly worry about if their house is locked, or the safety of their family, or orderliness of their closet, or what have you. They constantly obsess over something. And then, to define the C in OCD, he defines compulsive as, or I guess they are repetitive behaviors or thoughts that a person engages in to neutralize, counteract, or make the obsessions go away. So in simple camper terms, who doesn't understand a whole lot of medical terminology or just smart terminology in general, obsessions in OCD is you obsessing over thoughts, images, or what have you. So, as I said earlier, you obsess if there's germs on you. You obsess over the safety of your family. Sometimes it can be religious. You obsessed over where you'll end up after this life, or you obsess over the order of your room, or whatever. Compulsions, on the other hand, compulsions, yes, is what you do to counteract that anxiety over the obsession. So if you obsess over how many germs are on your hand, then the compulsion is to wash your hands 17 times every time you use the bathroom, right? So it kind of manifests itself in different levels in different people diagnosed with this disorder. But I mean, that's your basic definition is you have obsessions that cause anxiety, and then you have compulsions to try to counteract that. And to those who have OCD, they don't really know which one's worse, whether they think that they're being attacked by a million germs, or if they have to feel like they need to wash their hands 17 times every time they touch someone else's hands. But that's essentially what OCD is. And then to briefly restate what I said earlier, the D in OCD, it does stand for disorder. So this is something that people are clinically diagnosed with. And the reason I say that is because I feel like all three of us, if not a lot of people in general, kind of self-diagnose themselves as OCD at times. And that's kind of what I want to spend the majority of our time here. One thing I wanted to do is, if we were OCD, just thinking about our behaviors, our habits, some of the stuff that we stress out about in our lives, I feel like, for me at least, I don't have OCD, but there are times where someone could see what I'm doing and then say, that seems like what someone who had OCD does. So to give you an example, I've got a few here, just a couple, and then I'll let Cody tell us if he has anything. But some of the things that just need to happen for me to enjoy life to the fullest. In my wallet, and this is actually a rare occurrence, but when I have money in my wallet, all of my money must be facing the fold of the wallet. So the inside fold of the wallet, the money must be facing, like the face on the dollar bill has to be looking inwards. And it has to be a bifold wallet. I hate trifold wallets. That could deserve a what the freak itself. But don't even get me started. But it's a bifold wallet, and my money must be placed, of course, bottom first, facing inward. So the faces are right side up, looking in towards the infold. And they must be in ascending order. So the dollar bills must be on the very inside, and then the 5s, and then the 10s, and then the 20s. And I don't even put 50s or 100s in my wallet. But if I were, and if I didn't care about money, that's where they'd go. But that's just one. So I'll constantly, if I get change, it's really hard. Have you ever been in the line checking out at a grocery store, and they give you the change back, and then there's a huge line of people behind you, and you got to like throw your change in your wallet, and then you feel bad for making the people wait behind you? Well, I'm the guy that takes the extra second to make sure the wallet's organized. Second thing, you guys might find this weird actually. My shower routine is oddly structured and is constant no matter what day, no matter what time it is in the day. My shower routine is simple. Warm the water up, I get in, and here it starts. I shampoo first. I use body soap, like a bar of soap. Then I shampoo for a second time. And then I use conditioner. I used to combine those, the cheap shampoos with the conditioner added. I don't dig that anymore. I get the watermelon shampoo. The watermelon smelling shampoo. I might have to trademark that. The watermelon smelling shampoo. The watermelon smelling conditioner. Is your shampoo the kind that's shaped like a fish? No, but it was when I was like 7.
That,
so
last week.
Me too.
Nostalgia.
That was like last week when I used that last. I'm kidding. That was a joke.
Completely forgot about that. Okay, so shampoo, a bar of soap, not a full bar of soap. I just use it, and then shampoo again, then conditioner, and then I body wash. I've got some reasoning for doing that. I don't know if you guys shampoo twice or not. But that's how it has to go in the shower. If I mess that up, I have to get back on track, and just pretend the part that messed up didn't happen. So I've got one more. I'll save it for later. Cody, do you have any obsessions or compulsive reactions to those obsessions?
Yes. And it's funny that you mentioned the whole money in the wallet thing, but I think that's probably a common occurrence
It better be.
among men and women, because I've had female friends that do the same thing. They'll organize their money in ascending order, like you said, all right side up, faces facing all the same way. And I actually had to kind of rack my brain on this one a little bit, because I thought I was quote unquote OCD about a lot of stuff. But I think the older I get, the more I just generally don't care how things are done. But one thing in particular that I will always do and make sure it's done right, in my mind, is make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Right? So first off, it has to be wheat bread. I hate eating white bread.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
too.
Like that used to be what we had in the house all the time when I was growing up. But once I got old enough to appreciate wheat bread, like white bread became that weird cousin that you never talk to ever again.
White bread tastes like earth.
Yeah, okay, well, sure. It's been a while since I've had white bread, so I guess I've...
It stales so quickly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like you're taking a bite out of the ground.
Yeah, because like you can... Okay, this may be nasty. We'll get off on a little tangent. But, wheat bread can last a few days past its expiration date. And I've used it a few days past its expiration date. But it does seem like white bread molds quicker. So yeah, when it comes to making a peanut butter jelly sandwich, first off, there has to be the correct ratio of peanut butter to jelly, which may sound like a duh comment, but hear me out. So Brandon, I think you and I have had this discussion. Camper, you might have been on it too at one point, but I prefer more peanut butter to jelly. Now I know some people are flip-flopped, but when I make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I don't want it to be like eating a dessert for lunch.
Yeah, exactly. It tastes like candy when you have too much jelly on it.
And then if you put too much jelly on it, it oozes out and then gets everywhere.
Yes.
So, and I like to eat peanut butter jelly sandwiches on the way to events, like as a quick lunch. If I'm having to travel around lunchtime, or if I just want a snack, I like to eat peanut butter and jellies in the car.
Real quick, I've been best friends with this guy for a long time, so I can vouch for this man. If we could easily make money off of a book that's titled "The Weird Places Cody Eats Peanut Butter and Jelly Sandwiches," because multiple times I'll turn around and all of a sudden he's eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like he literally pulls it out of his ear or something.
Oh yeah. No, I have a fold of skin on my back that I keep peanut butter jelly sandwiches in.
Well, that's weird.
It's like I was
Okay, Jabba the Hutt.
It's like I was.
You don't have a lunchbox?
It's like I was. No, that's silly. Why would I use a lunchbox if I have a back fold I can put peanut butter jelly sandwiches in?
Bro, stop. This the word backfold is not clicking with me this morning.
It's okay. I was born that way. But no. Okay, so when I'm putting the peanut butter on the sandwich, I of course use a knife, but I try to measure. You just eyeball how much peanut butter I have on my knife to slather it on the bread. But if it's too much peanut butter, I will just go ahead and scrape it off. Like once I get done spreading it, if I see that it's too much, and for somehow I can tell if it's too much, I'll just scrape it off and put it on the next piece of bread, because usually I make 2 sandwiches, so I recycle the excess peanut butter.
Okay.
But not only do I make sure that the bread has the right amount of peanut butter, I make sure that the peanut butter surface is nice and smooth. Right? So I don't want any hills, I don't want any valleys, I don't want it to look like a weird squiggly design with the knife on the peanut butter. So I make sure it's like nice and flat, almost reflective, to where I can see myself in it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a little over exaggeration, but I want it nice and smooth. And then when I put the jelly on the other piece of bread, I make sure that there's basically no jelly on the sandwich at all. Just a thin layer, maybe a few clumps of it here and there. But, I definitely want more peanut butter as compared to jelly. And then after I, sandwich the two pieces together, I usually wrap them up in a napkin, but I do this a particular way too. So I'll turn the sandwich to where one side of the sandwich faces a corner of the napkin. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. So picture a square paper towel, but then the basically square piece of bread, and just kind of, instead of lining up all the sides parallel to each other, just like turn it one, I don't know how many degrees that is, but just so you can put a corner on the sandwich and then fold all the other corners into it and wrap it up nice and neat. And then that goes in my lunchbox, or that goes in my hand as I get in the car, and then it goes in my mouth. But I go ahead.
Do you not cut the sandwich?
No. No, then everything spills out.
I guess
He's not still using the fish shampoo, Camper. He's an adult now. He doesn't need it cut or decrusted.
And I just
and
I stopped using Pampers last week. All right, so we're good.
All right. Well, I feel like we could argue about this point, but I do get that if you cut the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it would start spilling out the side. But I definitely understand that. Is that all, or do you have any other weird things?
Well, no, I have a lot of weird things. A lot, but that's what I'm going to focus on today.
Brandon, what about you?
For me, it's like I feel like I go through phases where, like, I'm really quote unquote OCD about things. Just coming off the top of my head, there are some things that do stand out. Like, you mentioned that people struggle. Typical people who struggle with OCD really focus on keeping their house locked up. That is me, man. Like, I'll check every lock before Debbie and I go to bed, and we'll be laying in bed for about 5 minutes, and I'm like, I don't know if I locked that door. And Debbie's like, no, you locked it. And like, the clock in her head is already counting down for when I'm going to get up and check all of the doors again. It happens a lot. And it's not even just with the locks. It's with, did I turn the oven off? Even though I know I did. Like, I obviously did. And Debbie's like sitting there, you turned it off. I didn't feel anything coming warm from it. And like, the clock's counting down with her again. Like, it's counting down. He's going to get up. So like, that's one thing. I did have a really bad, and I don't know if y'all even knew it was this bad, but a real bad germ issue recently, to the point where, I was working at this clinic, and the point where if I touched anything, like another person's hand, some of the diagnostic equipment, the desk, the keyboard, I would go and wash my hands. And it got so bad that my hands would be just red, burning red. Like, I don't know why, but like, I guess if you wash your hands a lot, your skin reacts weird, and it just starts hurting. It kind of feels like a sunburn. But I was burning my hands so much that I was washing them so much just because just the thought of germs being anywhere on me. And it's definitely gone down a lot more, especially since I've been at the gym. I still consider myself a germaphobe. I don't like shaking people's hands. I have to fist bump. And I wash my hands all the time. Like, just within an hour of my niece and nephew being here yesterday, I washed my hands probably about 6 times, just from touching stuff that they touch, or I don't know. That's just how I am. I'm weird. Just a couple of other things, and this may be more of a habit, but I honestly don't think it's a habit. I feel like it is like, it has to be like this. But I have to sit in a middle seat when I'm watching a movie. I do not want to be, if I'm off a little to the left or a little to the right, the movie's ruined. Like, I'm not sitting there focusing on the movie. I'm focusing on the fact that I'm not in front of the movie. Something else that I struggle with is having things in my peripheral vision when I'm watching TV or something, playing video games. If there is something like a pillow is not sitting upright on a couch and it's in my vision, I have to stop. Or I'll get Debbie. I'm like, hey, can you fix that pillow? Or if there's like a little... And this is so hard as a parent because Sam leaves everything everywhere. And it's just chaos. So like, if it comes to the point where I just have to sweep everything out of my peripheral vision, not clean it up, just sweep it out of my peripheral vision, I do it now. I used to not be like that. I had to fix it. But just speaking of Sam, he's actually like super duper showing those kind of traits more than I am. Like, if Sam has anything on his hands when he's eating, it has to be wiped off. He does not like having even a crumb. Like, he'll find a crumb like the size of a skin cell and be like, give me a napkin, wipe it off my hand. Like, he doesn't like stuff on his hands. He's very particular about color coding stuff. So, like, we have blocks, different colored blocks. And when we build, he does all of the green blocks first. And if you put any other color down, he'll go, no. Like, and he'll pick it up and throw it. Like, he does all the green first, and then he does yellow, blue, red. That's usually the order he does it. But he has to make sure everything is color coded with his blocks. So, like, if you mess it up, he's gonna get you. So you better run. Like, he's very micromanaging, and he's only a 2-year-old, which I guess that's why it may be called terrible twos. I don't know, but and just little other things that he does. I'm not gonna completely, call him out on everything he does. So when he gets older, he's gonna be like, "Dad, that one time you were recording that podcast, you really let me have it." But that's pretty much what I've got.
Okay. Well, thank you guys. And Brandon, not to pick on you, but I didn't see Cody this week at the coffee shop, but I did see you. And I decided I had this topic in mind, and I decided I'd start messing with you. The way our coffee house is set up here in Meridian, the table that we sat at is essentially, you can sit 4 people at it, but it's cut in half. So that's 2 tables pushed together, and if that's making sense. So 4 people can sit at it at one time, but they're 2 2x2s pushed together. So
I feel like I already know where this is going.
So about halfway through our coffee date, we had another friend there with us. I noticed that the table was completely even, like squared up with each other, and I was like, okay, interesting, because people have been sitting here. Brandon's been kicking my feet this whole time. I feel like this table would have moved, and so I moved it. I moved it just a little bit, and I forgot about it. About 5 minutes later, I see Brandon pushing the table back square, evening it up, leveling it up, and I said, "Ooh, I'm gonna have some fun with this." And then I forgot about it again. 5 minutes later, this table's still like that. I push it back just a little bit.
Bro, you're doing that on purpose, man? That was bugging me.
Bro, this goes on for, like, honestly, 15 or 20 times.
Nice.
At one point, I can't even move the table. Like, it feels like there's a force against it, so I almost give up. Like, I don't know if you were pushing it or what, but, like, I was trying to do it, and I was like, okay, this is getting too obvious. Like, the first couple of times, I don't even remember doing, but, like, I remember one time I was trying to shift it back, and it was like it wouldn't work. I was like, I'm going to end up looking really stupid if I keep trying to yank this thing back.
Oh, man. It got to the point where I wanted you to catch me, and so you would move it, and I would be right there, bro. As soon as your hands left, I would just push it back. But yeah, so that I wanted to see how far.
Not to mention the coffee, like, we all have to sit in our particular seats. Like, if I'm not sitting in a seat next to the window facing the door, I'm thrown off. Like, it gets on my nerves. I hate anybody that takes that seat.
Right.
Oh, I've noticed that you really enjoy that seat because you said it before. You like to see people coming in. Like, you even.
Well, that's the number one in being a man. Never have your back turned away from a door.
Well, it's funny. Even when you
could be random bear attacks.
Like, even in North Hills, Mississippi, or Meridian, Mississippi.
Hey, well, there's been a bear before. There's been a bear.
But, like, even
when was the last time you saw a bear in Meridian, idiot? Last year, idiot.
When it went to MSU Meridian, idiot.
Okay, Cody, what were you saying?
Yeah, I just had, like, real quick. But no, on the off chance that you do end up getting the seat with your back turned to the door, every time the door opens, you will turn around and look at who's coming in.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
I've noticed that. Like, every time it's like, if there's a bell on the door to let you know someone's coming in, it's like we'll be talking, and then Brandon just kind of like turns around and like.
I do want to throw this out there real quick, Camper. I know we're about to drink coffee. Do not purposely sit in my seat. I don't want to have to kick you in the shin.
But yeah, that I'm done, Camper. You can keep talking about your topic.
Well, I mean, that about rounds out the discussion. I do have one more that I would like to mention about myself. And if you guys have spent any time eating around me, then you may or may not have noticed this. This is easily the longest description of one of the compulsive things that I have. I'm just going to lay it straight. If I have food with a number of different items, so let's say I go to get a burger and fries, I have to eat all of the fries that I have purpose to eat, right? So whether that be all of them or half of them, if I'm saving any or whatever, I have to eat all of the fries first, and then my burger. Right, so this kind of manifests itself a little bit differently depending on what food and what sides I have. But I don't care if it's one side or three sides. I have to eat my sides first, one at a time, completely, and then the main dish. So, and the way I do my sides is the worst tasting, and then up until the best tasting, and then the main item. So if I've got like broccoli, rice, mashed potatoes, and steak. It sounds like a weird combination, but I have to eat my broccoli first because that's not as good as rice or mashed potatoes. And then...
No, it's too healthy.
So I get that bad taste out of the way. And then I eat the rice because mashed potatoes are freaking awesome. And then I eat the mashed potatoes. And then I eat the steak. That's just how I do things.
See, that sounds better to me than because with Debbie, she has to make sure that her food doesn't touch.
Yeah,
if it touches, it's done. But I can respect eating the crappiest side,
right?
Building your way up.
Yeah, and
I'm okay if mine makes a little bit. Sometimes you make a new food that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of mashed potatoes, that's perfect for it. But not with broccoli or rice. But yeah, it's a common one. People's food can't touch, or at least I know a number of cases of people that are close to me. But yeah, so that is something that I've dealt with my whole life that people always make fun of me for. Like if now I'll cook burgers for the family here, and my mom will prepare the sides or whatever, and we'll sit down to eat. 5 minutes into it, maybe not even that, like a minute into it, she's like, "So how is it?" And I'm like, "Well, these baked beans are good." It's like, I haven't eaten the burger yet. I haven't gotten to it. And so, there are some difficulties with it. It's a hard life, though. But no, that is our comedic approach to some of the compulsions and how we deal with some of the more trivial things in our life. And, recognizing that some people do have a pretty bad case of OCD. Just a quick search on my Facebook feed, I found someone that I'm friends with that is clinically diagnosed with OCD, and they can't have a screen protector on their phone, because if you've ever put a screen protector on your phone, then you pretty much concluded that you're okay with dust being underneath the screen cover and it not being on perfectly. People with OCD can't have something like that, or at least this guy couldn't have a screen protector on his phone, and a year ago his phone broke. So it kind of manifests itself in different ways, as I said, but people deal with the anxiety of obsessions, and then they deal with the kind of how to deal with those and some of the methods that they have, and they may not always be effective, but it helps them. So that's OCD. Brandon, I think you have the next topic.
I do. This week, we will be talking about the multiverse.
Yeah.
If you didn't catch that weird voice, I said the multiverse, or also known as meta-universe. Just to give you a definition of the multiverse, it is the hypothetical set of possible universes. This includes the universe we are currently living in and a part of right now. So basically, if there are a lot of, I didn't realize how deep this theory actually went. It's actually very mind-boggling. I'm very surprised my brain survived the hours of research I did yesterday. But there are a lot of different theories. If you read one person's work, you're going to get something different than another person's work. It's very all over the place. One thing that most people can agree on is that with each one of these universes, there are some things that stay the same from universe to universe. And some of these things are space. The vastness of space is the same. Time is present in all of these different universes. Matter is the same. Obviously, there is matter. Energy and physical laws and physical constants. Those are all consistent in each type of universe that lies within the multiverse. The universes that lie in the multiverse are usually called parallel universes, other universes, or alternative universes. So you might be asking yourself, well, when did this crazy idea that there are multiple universes, multiple parallel universes where things are different in each of them, where did that come from? And I would answer you with this. It began in Dublin in 1952 by a man with the name Erwin Schrödinger. And I may have butchered that last name, but it was fun saying Schrödinger. So I'm going to say it again. Schrödinger. Anyway, I'm going to call him Erwin just because I don't want to butcher his name too much.
Yeah.
His grandkids may come after me.
Yeah.
But Mr. Irwin gave a lecture in which he warned his audience, this may sound, quote, lunatic. Which, I mean, if you start off a lecture saying this is going to sound absolutely crazy, you're already kind of setting your audience up to think you're crazy. But in his lecture, or in him speaking to the students, he pointed out that some of his Nobel equations describe several different histories that were not alternatives, but actually taking place simultaneously. So, just to give a Brandon definition, he was basically saying that his equations did not point to different types of things that have already taken place, but things that were happening simultaneously. And just to put another Brandon definition, not trying to say that this is exactly what he was saying, but the way I took it is that basically that the universes are happening all at once, and that things that, like, let's say Camper just took a sip out of his coffee. So in this universe, Camper's sipping coffee. In another universe, Camper may be drinking milk, or if he has a brain, something with better taste.
Chocolate milk.
So that's kind of what he was pointing at. But like I said, there are many different hypothesi, whatever you want to say, that are surrounded around the topic of the multiverse. Like I said, the number one thing that the hypotheses differ over is structure of the multiverse. Just to name a couple. One is called black hole cosmology. This is a theory that includes the theory of white holes, which, while a black hole sucks everything in, including light, the white hole releases everything sucked up. So picture this. You see a black hole. You enter that black hole, you're going to come out on another side, and it's going to be a white hole, because the light and everything that the black hole captures is being submitted to another area, which could also be another dimension, because there are theories that say that black holes may be entryways to other dimensions, so that maybe the other side of a black hole is a white hole.
I didn't even think about the dynamic between the hole sucking from one side and then pushing into the other.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Cody, and it's like, this is our third time discussing this, or fourth time discussing this, because we talk about this a lot. Because Cody and I took physics together, and like the space portion, the black hole portion, all of that was like our go-to stuff. Like, we would be like little girls talking about crushes after physics, and we'd be like, "Oh my gosh, he talked about black holes."
But this is probably why I don't have a girlfriend. That now I'm realizing, because we talk about it like girls.
And this is why I'm glad I'm already married.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. We're fine. I'm fine.
Another theory is Brian Greene's 9 types of parallel universes. Basically, he goes into different types of universes. I'm just going to lay them out for you. This may mean nothing. If you have a question about one of them, you can hit me up now, you guys, or our listeners can look it up and find more about it. But he basically separated 9 types of parallel universes into quilted, inflationary, brane, which is spelled B-R-A-N-E, cyclic, landscape, quantum, holographic, simulated, and ultimate. These are all different classes, and I have pulled up, just to name one of the ones that I thought was maybe the coolest. The ultimate multiverse contains every mathematically possible universe under different laws of physics. So they basically don't follow our laws of physics. The simulated multiverse exists under complex computer systems that simulate entire universes, which Cody and I, that's another topic that you and I have talked about.
The Matrix?
Yeah, pretty much.
Sure, yeah.
The holographic multiverse is derived from a theory that surface area of a space can simulate the volume of a region. Quantum multiverse creates a new universe when a diversion in events occurs. That's my favorite. So basically, there are many different worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. And we're actually going to dig into the quantum multiverse theory here in a second when we go around the table. And I'll just name those. Like I said, there are other ones. Those are by far my favorites, I think, of Brian Greene's 9 parallel universes. There's also Max Tegmark's 4 levels. He kind of laid out 4 different levels. Level 1 is the extension of our universe. Level 2 is universes with different physical constants, which is mind-boggling when you think about that. Like a universe that doesn't follow our rules.
Yeah.
No gravity,
like time, stuff like that. Yeah, like it's just crazy stuff.
Wow.
Level 3 is many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. That's kind of like Brian Greene's quantum level or quantum type. And then level 4 is the ultimate ensemble, which sounds really epic. It'd be a cool mixtape.
Yeah.
But just to give you kind of an idea of, I think it was Max Tegmark's level, picture just 6 discs, like 6 Frisbees. And these 6 Frisbees are laying on top of each other. Well, each disc represents a universe. And the collection of these discs is called a bubble universe. And every single one of these discs, and our universe is included in that, every one of these discs has different physical constants. There's different stuff going on within each of these discs, but yet they're still connected. So it's really weird, really, really freaky. There's actually research done by Stephen M. Finney, which this is really mind-boggling too. This, like, when I read this, when I was doing the research, I could just see this dude like grabbing a globe or a pen and just dropping it in front of his crowd because it's a pretty cool theory. But Mr. Finney analyzed a bunch of data, and to him, the data pointed that possibly our universe collided with other parallel universes in the past, which is really crazy. Now, how you would prove that, I don't know. I want to do more research into that. I didn't want to keep going super long just talking about Finney. It definitely could be discussed at a different time. But that's crazy to even think that you have these different types of universes that collide with one another, especially parallel universes that collide with one another. That's kind of the research I did scientifically. Now, this has been portrayed in many forms of media. We've seen it in movies, particularly the science fiction genre. We've seen it in astronomy. Obviously there are NASA scientists and academic professors that are being paid to bukus of money to do research on this kind of stuff. We've seen it in religion. We've seen it in literature. Once again, back to that fiction literature of just the idea of multiverses. One of my particular favorite areas of media that talk about multiverses is the comic books, which, DC has this whole thing, laid out called the multiverse, in which in one universe you may have somebody like Joker who's a serial killer madman. In another universe, he's a good guy. Or in one universe, you have Batman, Bruce Wayne is Batman. In another universe, Bruce Wayne dies, his parents live, his dad becomes Batman, his mom becomes the Joker. Like, it's just different scenarios play out in one, and the effect of those scenarios vary from universe to universe to universe. So that's where we're going to get into our roundtable discussion. That's where we're going to dig deeper into the quantum area of Greene's levels. So my question to the roundtable that I have right here, it's not even a question, it's more of a little activity. We're going to create our own universe, our own parallel universe that's totally different from this one, in which decisions that we make, scenarios that have happened or whatnot, are totally different. So like I said, in this universe, Camper drank coffee. In another universe, he probably drank something crappy like milk.
Or root beer.
Root beer. He's probably an avid root beer drinker. So we're going to give an alternate reality, and I want each person to kind of give a alternate reality to the person to their left. So we're going to start with Camper. I think you're going to do Cody since Spicy White is absent.
Yes.
Oh, real quick, we're going to call this alternate universe Squadonia, by the way.
I like it. Cody would like to. I would like to apologize to you beforehand. This is Cody in Squadonia.
I'm ready.
Cody in Squadonia, since it's socially acceptable to have 7 wives. Cody has 7 wives, and he is the only one to have 7 wives. Everyone else, or every guy, has less than 7 wives. So, I mean, I feel like Cody, this Cody, we're gonna say Squadonia Cody. This makes up for, I guess you and him balance out each other. So your faults, I don't know if that's a fault if you consider it a fault, but so yeah, so it would be considered his strengths and vice versa. So, for example, I feel like you're a very smart guy here on regular Earth, but in Squadonia, or regular universe, in Squadonia, this guy is homeless. So how he got 7 wives, I'm not sure. He's not very smart, though.
We all live in a 2-story box mansion.
Yeah.
Hey, but maybe in this universe, being poor is actually like being rich in this one.
Maybe
It's a
so.
luxury.
Maybe so.
Let's see here. You like cats? You have
Oh boy.
15 cats in your box
Oh
home.
no. No.
No cute little puppies, because Squadonia Camper stole your puppies. Because
We'll get to that in a second.
let's see here. You don't have any cool friends. I hate to say that, but I mean, I feel like you have some awesome friends. Specifically, not to humble brag or anything, but I mean me. I'm not your friend in this universe because I'm in a different social class than you are. You're down at the bottom of the caste system, and I'm at the top probably.
And because you stole my puppies, you punk. Or Squadonia Camper.
True. Let's see here. Also, he's a big sports nerd. That's all he talks about is sports. So that is Squadonia Cody.
Okay.
All right, I like it. I like it a lot. Since we're going to be skipping Spicy, I think it's Superman's turn to give the Squadonian version of Batman.
Yeah. All right. So I put a little bit of thought into this, and when I say a little bit, like a little bit. So in this universe, regular universe, I would say we're all pretty tech savvy. I mean, we know how to open up an Audacity program to record this podcast. Mm-hmm. We all know how to navigate an iPhone fairly well. Brandon, I know you have an iPad. Camper, you do too, but since I'm focusing on Brandon, Brandon, you have an iPad. You have worked on the computer, probably the majority of your life, working at the paper and everything. So in this universe, in Squadonia, you live off the grid.
Yes.
I like it.
So you live off the grid with and I'm glad you said that some multiverse theories have things that stay the same, because you're still married to Debbie, but you and Debbie live off the grid with Sam, who is your daughter, right?
Wow.
Ooh,
Sam short.
Samantha.
Yeah, for Samantha. Okay.
That's smart.
You still have a dog, but instead of it being like a beagle, it's a freaking Irish wolfhound.
I'm okay trading that now.
I don't know if y'all have seen these beasts, but they're the size of a small horse, basically. So you live off the grid with Debbie and Samantha. You have an Irish wolfhound, and you have a full beard, right? So I know all of us talk about how we want to grow a full beard. And Brandon, you usually keep yours pretty close to the skin. I mean, you have some stubble going on, and which is fine. But in Squadonia, yours is a full on Duck Dynasty, hanging past your belly button beard. All right.
I want to meet I already want to be this man. You're basically saying you can keep your wife and kids. You're just a lot cooler.
Yeah. Well, that was the first part. Okay, so you have a full beard. But on y'all's little plot of land in the woods where y'all live, you wear blue jeans all the time.
Oh gosh, I already hate it now.
Okay, so
No
if y'all,
deal.
if y'all don't know, Squadians out there listening, Brandon hates blue jeans.
I do.
Like I can't remember a time ever seeing him in blue jeans.
Well, I like my legs not to be constrained by tight, uncomfortable material.
Yeah, and I can understand that, but like, I mean, we've known each other for I don't know how long now, but I've never seen this man in a pair of jeans.
Nope.
So you wear blue jeans all the time, and in fact, you like blue jeans so much, the only time you leave your woodland haven is to go into town and buy more jeans from your favorite store, American Eagle.
Oh gosh.
They have
I'm gonna
like
throw up.
they have the tightest jeans of all time.
Is that what they are? Or skinny jeans?
Yeah,
I'd
well,
rather buy them from Dollar General.
not necessarily not necessarily skinny jeans, but just, I mean, just thigh hugging, really uncomfortable to walk in jeans. Okay, you're the biggest advocate ever for the Marvel comics.
Ugh.
You hate DC so much that anyone who talks about it, you automatically hate. Your favorite Marvel hero, I think we've talked about it before on the show, is Squirrel Girl. Okay, so
She's not bad.
yeah, I gave you that
She's-
one. I gave you that one because she did defeat Thanos, I believe.
Spoiler.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's in the comics, so. But last but not least, your favorite sport to watch and to participate in
No, don't do it.
is like the Olympic curling thing.
Oh,
Like,
I thought you were gonna say soccer.
no. Well, I kind of thought about that, but I tried to go like way far out in left field. So the curling, I don't.
That's a fun sport. I've
thing-
done it.
I was about to say, yeah, I can deal with that. Camper's my partner.
Yes.
But yeah, that's Squadonia Brandon.
Okay. I guess it's my turn for Camper. How can I start this off by saying this is what I've been looking forward to since last week? By the way, bravo, Camper, because you legitimately improv'd a lot of what you did with Cody, because you just found out just this morning that Cody was going to be the one you were doing.
Right.
Yeah, so that was good.
Camper and Squadonia. His nickname is not Camper, it's called Tent. We're just going to call him Tent. He works part-time. He works tent parks. I'm so excited that words are like very difficult to say here. Tent works part-time for PETA, but he also works part-time for a chicken breeder. He likes to catch ants for his ant farm that he has a whole wall of his house of. Just He likes watching the ants. Like, instead of windows, he has an ant farm. He is married, so let's just take a moment to clap on that.
Yes.
Camper is married, but his wife is a hippie.
Oh,
Who believes in a natural way of life. So her fingernails just continually grow. She does have armpit hair and whatever type of hair she can grow anywhere. Every night, this woman plays with Camper's hair. If she does not play with his hair, with his long hair, by the way, because it's very long. If she does not play with his hair, he cannot sleep.
Oh no.
He has 3 kids that only could be described as barbarians. He hates all sports. Like, don't even start with him. Golden State, no. The bandwagon he drives is the one to get home. He thinks all sports are a waste of time, but he'd rather be outdoors riding his horses and working in his root beer distillery. Whatever.
Distillery.
Yeah,
That thing.
he works in a root beer distillery.
yes.
Camper loves pointless things. He pretty much agrees with everything.
No.
The 4 of us still have a podcast,
Okay.
and his segment is called "What the Freak?" I actually agree with everything you said.
No.
The most controversial thing he does is fall asleep at 6 o'clock every night next to his very, very ugly cats that he rescued from a fire. Actually, he didn't rescue from a fire. His wife did, because she's a hippie. let's talk about Camper style. Camper has a beard because in this universe he only has a hair. He has a full beard, and not one of those beards that goes down to your belly, Cody, but like, you know how there's competitions for the weird ones?
Yes.
He has something like that going on.
Oh.
Like it's not even a good beard. So even in this universe, Camper cannot grow a good beard.
Yep.
It's a weird one. It's like one that you would see a man wearing and want to stay 10 feet away from at all times. So he has that. He does have long hair too, that he's trying to make into a man bun, but it's not working yet because it's not working. The physics are not there. It may be one of those physical constants that's not in this universe. Camper likes wearing skinny jeans. The tighter, the better.
Oh. Yeah.
He likes wearing tight button-up shirts that often have dots or weird, stupid arrangements on them. And he likes to wear boots. And this is really kind of reminding me of a friend we all mutually mutually know. I feel like you're this friend of another universe.
Yeah.
So just keep that in your head. But that's Camper. He is definitely the least controversial of us.
No, that's Tent.
And Squadonian. Yeah, that's Tent. That's Tent. Yeah, I forgot. Tent. He could start a window business. But he's too busy working for PETA.
Tents tinting.
And chicken breeders.
I didn't understand the PETA/chicken breeder. Was that supposed to be a contradiction?
No, that's just a stupid job. Like, you work for PETA. You have to love all animals. And you hate some animals. So you have to work for PETA. And the chicken breeders just because the only woman that would marry you is a hippie, and she's okay if you come home smelling like chicken crap.
Yeah, I would really enjoy to see Tent working in a chicken factory. I would enjoy watching you go to a chicken breeding place just because, I don't know. I can see you really...
He'd be like a little kid on Christmas. My favorite thing is that he's a professional ant catcher, though. He's like, you know how people are with birds? It's like, oh my gosh, this is a fire ant. I don't have this in my collection.
Yes.
Or look, there's a cow ant.
Oh, that's amazing.
Anyway, that is Squadonian Camper. And since Jake Lee's not here, we are going to do an alternate universe of Jake because he is a part of the squad. But for time purposes, I want each of us to list one specific thing about Jake in this universe, and then we'll just kind of combine it. Starting with you, Camper. What is the Spicy White like in Squadonian?
All right. Congratulations, Spicy, on getting married in this universe. However, in the next universe, I'm not going to say anything about his relationship status, but I will say that Spicy in Squadonia drives a Volkswagen Beetle.
Nice.
From 1973.
Oh, even
and
better.
It is yellow.
Oh.
Ugh.
Yes.
All right, Cody.
All right.
What is one thing about the spice?
Well, first off, before I get into what I want to say, can we name Squadonia Jake like just mild white or something? Like,
I was gonna name him Wild Carrot. Mild Carrot, because Spicy White comes after a chicken, and Jake likes chicken, but I don't see Jake liking carrots, like a raw carrot.
Okay, so mild carrot. Okay.
Yeah, mild carrot.
So mild carrot, like Camper said, is going to drive an older model Volkswagen Beetle that is the color yellow, but mild carrot is also a hipster. He dresses the opposite of Spicy White.
No pocket tees?
Do what?
No pocket tees?
No pocket tees. No, he's gonna be dressed like this friend that you were describing earlier.
Which wears what?
You know, skinny jeans, skinny khakis, whatever. You know, the tighter the better. He's gonna wear those fancy what are they called? Chelsea boots or whatever. He's gonna have those.
I don't know what those
I think
are.
that's what they're called. I don't wear them.
Uggs. He's gonna be wearing some Uggs.
Oh goodness.
If that's still a thing.
Yeah. No. Wait. Better yet, he wears Birkenstocks. He's gonna wear Birkenstocks. Those are the same.
You know a lot of these words. I don't know. Cody.
I have a
I'm
lot of
starting to
female
wonder.
friends. All right, they talk about this crap all the time. All right, so he wears skinny jeans. He wears these Birkenstock sandals. The designer button-up shirts with all the fancy, designs on them. And let's see. I'm trying to think of what his hair looks like.
He's got a mullet,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
He's got long hair in a ponytail. I could picture that.
That or a mullet. Either one. I can see a mild.
I feel like he would like a mullet though, because very very Joe Dirtish. I feel like he's got a long hair with a ponytail.
With a ponytail. Okay, yeah.
I guess
so mild carrot.
He's got a ponytail.
Yeah, mild carrot has a
All right.
ponytail.
All right, so mild carrot in Squadonia is a Democrat.
Oh.
Big Bill Clinton supporter. That's his favorite president, as opposed to George Bush. If you asked him today,
Yeah.
he's also a vegan.
Oh.
So don't bring any hot dogs or hamburgers or any type of meat around him, because he will tell you to go put it back in a cow or pig.
And then silently protest by just standing there and staring at you.
Yeah.
Because he's also a hipster.
So that is the squad in Squadonia. If you want to shout us out on social media and let us know what you feel like you would be in our alternate universe, or what anything different about what we said about each other, just be sure to let us know. I feel like I'm maybe not wanting to say that because I feel like people are going to come after us. Please do. But anyway, that's my topic of the multiverse. I hope that you enjoyed it. I do encourage you, if you like weird stuff, and this is something to look at, because it is weird, and there are a lot of theories and research that go into it, a lot more than I thought. So anyway, that's our main topics. It's time to get into the individual segments, and I think, Cody, you've got the first segment of this episode.
Yes. So there is another awkward Cody this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look harder and harder every week into awkward moments and when they happen, and I try to remember them the best I can. So, and this one actually happened. So today is Friday, I believe. I think it's still Friday, or just getting started on Friday. But this happened this past Sunday at church. I'm starting to kind of work with the youth group at this church in Jackson, Pine Lake Church, and I was there this past Sunday evening working with the youth, or just trying to get familiar with the youth. They had a special time for all the 8th graders who are moving up into high school, so up into the youth ministry from middle school. They had a special night with water slides, with some Buffalo Wild Wings. It was just a really fun time, just real low key. The whole youth group was not there because it's still summer. Everybody's on vacation and whatnot. So it was mainly just the new 9th graders. But I was standing there with my friend who also goes to Pine Lake, who also worked with the youth. We were just standing there talking, and then one of the youth ministers comes up, and she is soaking wet from head to toe. She has been sliding, enjoying all the rides. She comes up to us and asks, why aren't y'all sliding? And my friend, she just says, well, I didn't come prepared, whatever. And then she asks me, why aren't you sliding? And I try to think of something funny and witty and try to get a laugh out of her. And all I can think to say is, oh, I just dried off quickly. Like implying that, I had already, slid down the slides and just happened to dry off quickly.
You liar. You were in church. How dare you?
She was real sweet about it and laughed at that, but I'm sure she was thinking, oh boy.
What a weirdo.
What a weirdo. Can't believe he's going to be working with us. No. But then afterwards I thought of what I thought could be better responses. Like, I was wearing khaki shorts at the time, so this might have been better. I could have said something like, oh, well, these aren't my swimming khakis, or,
You could have just said, I'm wearing khakis.
So that was kind of awkward, I thought. And then me and my friend we kind of left after that, which was okay with me. But that's this week in Awkward Cody.
Sweet.
All right. Yeah, I'm so glad we got another awkward Cody. That's 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I guess my topic is next, which is another edition of Unsung Heroes. This week, I'm going to do something in honor of our episode as a whole. All right, this is our 13th episode, and I'm going to shout out the number 13, which has a really bad rap. You know, Friday the 13th, it's a very superstitious holiday, I guess, if you would consider it a holiday. I don't. People are very superstitious about the number 13, even more so than I thought. Like, there are people who stay home on Friday the 13th, or if they come across the number 13, they go in the opposite direction. So it's actually a very, very sensitive date. And I feel bad for the 13th, for just the number 13. Like, 12 doesn't get that rap. 10 doesn't get that rap. And the worst number, in my opinion, in history, 1 doesn't get that rap. So this is to you, 13. I personally have, not by chance, but sometimes by chance, kind of lived my life by the number 13. My dad played basketball. His number was 13. Any chance I had the opportunity to wear that number, I wore that number. Even in video games, I'm number 13. But, you know, I wore the number whenever possible. I actually started dating Debbie, and this was by chance, on September 13th, 2009. We got married on April 13th, 2013. So 13 has been a big part of my life. This is to you, 13. Don't let people put you down. Don't let people act like you're bad luck. It's not like you're a cat. I mean, at least the other superstitions are like dumb stuff. Like, of course I'm going to stay away from a black cat. It's a cat. Of course I'm not going to walk under a ladder. I don't want something to fall down on me, including a person. Like, you spill salt, clean the salt up. Like, there's no sense in the number 13 having the bad rap it has. So, 13, this is to you. You are heard. You are valued, especially by me. You are an unsung hero, and I appreciate everything you do, 13, including being the day of my anniversary. So, that is to 13.
Woohoo,
And now,
13.
Since Jake Lee is absent, we're going to move into the What the Freak segment. What you got, Camp?
Okay, so for my What the Freak this week, after going through 12 episodes of What the Freak, I've realized that I may not have ever told you guys kind of the approach of What the Freak, or, you know, I guess my intent of this segment. And so, you know, if you would, I feel like it's 12 episodes late, allow me to tell our listeners exactly, you know, what I think this segment or my purpose behind this segment. And I prepared a statement just so that I would say everything I wanted to say. So, What the Freak has intended to be essentially my stand-up comedy setting, right? So when I give my unpopular opinion, I was telling you guys this the other day, I envision myself up on a stage, and I mean it's just how I approach it, as if it's a stand-up comedy setting. So every opinion I have in every episode is a legitimate opinion that I have. I'm not making any of these things up. So when I say I hate root beer, when I say that I hate the worst sound in the world is a baby screaming in public and a parent that won't do anything about it, or some of the ones that we'll talk about in the future, those are legitimate opinions that I have. And I feel like that in a comedy setting, that is a perfect setting for someone like me to voice some of the unpopular opinions that I have, and the intent of it is to get as much feedback as possible. So the way I go about that is try to be as ridiculous as possible while still being legitimate and true to myself, so that people think that I'm crazy and tell me that I'm crazy, and that way I know that they are listening and enjoying my segment, and I think that you guys are the perfect embodiment of that. When I tell you that I hate root beer, spicy white, make sure that I know that he disagrees with me. When I say that I hate soft shell tacos, I legitimately do not like soft shell tacos, and I think I give a good argument for it. But Brandon very much disagrees with me there, and he lets me know, and that's what the intent of my segment is I want to tell you guys all these weird things that I think of myself or my opinions or whatever, and give you kind of a glimpse of my life, right? So, and my intent is to entertain you, to bring humor into your life, and to make you feel not so bad about yourself because of how crazy I am. Sometimes it can come across as inconsiderate, so, when I say something like the babies in public, sometimes I fail to think of the parents of young children that I see on a regular basis, whether it be in church or even when I go visit family or whatever, whoever has those little children, or even Brandon with Sam. It's easy for me to try to get laughs at the expense of one or two comments that may offend some people. But as far as how my segment fits into this show, we've made it clear since day one whether we've stayed on that or not. It's really up to the listeners, but our intent for each and every episode, especially moving forward, is our motto. You can find it on our website and on our Facebook. It says to inspire, to encourage, and to entertain. And my segment can't really embody all three of those, so I primarily focus on the entertaining aspect of it. And that's, it's just, I feel like it's better suited for that. I'm just trying to get people to laugh and to hate me and to argue with me and whatever. But, I want to entertain people, and I think What the Freak does a great job with that, or has done a great job with that. And that's my vision, at least. And there's different avenues for me to inspire and to encourage other people. If you haven't yet read my first blog on the website, you can go read that. It is literally about inspiration and me telling you to take the next step wherever your path leads to, wherever you are desiring to go. And I'm encouraging you to take it step by step, and that's how I can encourage you and inspire you. And so there's different avenues that I can do those things, and this avenue is primarily for entertainment. Sometimes it can come across as inconsiderate, or that I think everyone else is dumb, I'm the only smart one. That is, it's certainly not me thinking that people are dumb, because I understand that I am in the minority on many of these things, and it's purposefully intended to entertain. But that said, thank you guys for letting me, give you a definition of what the Freak is, what it was intended to be, how it fits in the whole scheme of the Squad Life podcast. And if I ever do in the future say, one or two sentences, maybe even more, that come across as inconsiderate or just kind of rubs people the wrong way, certainly know that is not my intent. This is very much exaggerated, I'm trying to get people to laugh, and I've had I've struggled my whole life trying to balance that and not knocking anybody else down. So that is What the Freak. This week, I'll keep it short and simple since I wanted to explain that. Moving into my What the Freak segment really quickly, I just want to hear if you agree or disagree, because this needs no explanation. I feel like this is the most polarized thing you could get, at least from my experience on social media. I feel like you either land on side A or side B, and there's no in between. I believe pineapples do not belong on pizza. Do you agree?
And just to say it really
Thank
kindly, if you do like pineapples on pizza, you need to move to Hawaii, because they have a bunch of them, and we don't need a bunch of people who like pineapples on pizza, at least in Mississippi.
Right.
I can't remember a time I've ever had pineapple on pizza, so I don't know if it's good or not, but I like most food, so I'm going to say you put whatever you want to on your pizza.
You would say that.
Fair enough. Okay, Cody. Cody is often the most grounded during this segment. He's like, this is my opinion. Most of the times, if I don't have an opinion, I'm going to stay as unbiased as possible.
Well, if you learned anything from the last podcast, then you know my personality type is the mediator or the diplomat. So I try to keep the peace.
Right. We definitely need one of those because I feel like we're all opinionated in some way. Some of us are stronger than others. I definitely fall in the strong opinionated category. But as you know, as far as pineapples on pizza go, I feel like contrast in texture and taste is good in food, except when you're putting fruit on bread with pizza sauce and cheese on it, and then sometimes pepperoni or
like macaroni
ham.
macaroni and cheese pizza, good. Pineapple pizza,
yes,
bad.
Very bad. And where does it stop? What if we put pizza on pineapple?
Who's to say which one goes where?
Where's the
in
line?
Another parallel universe, that probably does happen.
People
it's probably a
like
delicacy. But anyway, that's gonna round out our segments. I do want to quickly say, for Spicy White's "Are You an Idiot?" I'm gonna go ahead and plug all of us in because we're gonna be acting like idiots at his wedding. So that's just a quick shout out to Spicy there. Now we're just gonna move into our plugs. Camper, what you plugging this week?
Okay, so this week I got a chance to watch one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm going to go ahead and plug it, The Sandlot. It is instant classic. I remember it from my childhood. So many quotable moments in
Smalls.
it. If you have never seen the I've got a T-shirt with the picture of the catcher and of course, I just watched the movie. I don't know the names. I can't tell you how many times I've watched the movie. But anyway, it says "You're killing me, Smalls." But if you have never seen The Sandlot, you need to watch it. It is a classic. If you haven't seen it, I can't believe you haven't. And if you have watched it and it's been a while, go back and rewatch it. It'll just make you smile. So that's my plug.
What you got, Cody?
First off, one of my favorite quotes in that movie is when the catcher is talking to the other team that they're playing, and he's like, "Hey, is that your sister out there in left field? She naked?" And then he says, "Like, you think she would date me or something?" I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, instant classic. I love it. I'm going to plug Tripoli. He is a Christian rapper. I guess he'd be okay with that title. But more specifically, his album called Rise. Okay, so that was, I believe, like just another instant classic of media. I forget when it was released. It was a few years ago.
October 2014.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's been around for almost 3 years now. But I still listen to it on the way to school, on the way to a lot of places. I'll listen to it when I'm at home, when I'm not on the way to a lot of places. But there's just so many songs in there
like
that
a Dr. Seuss novel.
I didn't know Dr. Seuss wrote novels.
Book, whatever.
It's a graphic novel. It's Dr. Seuss's doppelganger in Squadonia. Yeah.
Squadonia. Yeah.
And we've come full circle, everyone. No. So, I don't know. There's just a lot of songs in there that get me hype. So, thank you, Tripoli, and thank you for making the album called Rise.
Thinking with that same mindset of getting me all pumped up and feeling good. My plug this week is Bad Lip Reading, which is a
Yes.
a group or a page that you can go to. Basically, what they do is they take sports clips throughout the year. They have a sports edition. They take movies like Star Wars, shows like The Walking Dead, and they basically show you clips from them, but they put their own voices in to mimic the words that they're doing, and it's usually super ridiculous and super funny. So they've even done the debates, the national Republican national and the Democratic national conventions and stuff like that. If you haven't watched it, what have you been doing with your life? Please go watch it right now because it's hilarious. You can look them up on YouTube just by typing in Bad Lip Reading. You can find them on Facebook or Twitter just by typing that in. So go check that out. But that rounds up our plugs, and we're just going to get into one announcement, which is going to go directly to Cody because we have a review.
Yeah, hey, woohoo!
Yes.
All right, so this review is coming to us from one of our friends, and he actually includes his name in the, I guess, in the who wrote the review section. He called the review "Listen Up." He gave us 5 stars, and it is by that guy, Danny Ray. All right.
Yes.
And staying true to what we did last week, 2 weeks ago, I would like to do this in a different accent than what I usually speak with. So, what do y'all want to hear?
Jersey.
Jersey?
Yeah,
All right.
anything.
All right. Me. All right. Here we go. So, Listen Up by that guy, Danny Ray. Are you the kind of person who hates fun? Do you prefer to count the blades of grass in your yard, then have fun with your friends? Do you like cats? If you answered yes to any of these, do not listen to this podcast. However, if you enjoy fun, if you love laughing, if you want to enjoy a good time listening to great guys discuss interesting topics, then this is the podcast for you. Now, hit that subscribe button, you filthy animal.
That was perfect.
And that is, again, by that guy, Danny Ray. Thank you, Danny Ray.
Yes.
We love you. We love your 5-star review. And for those of you listening and want to write a review and want to hear that written review read in an absurd accent, an attempted absurd accent, then please write us a review. Let us know what you think, and we will read it on the air just for you.
Yes, that is right. That rounds up our show. I hope you enjoy it. Take some bits of inspiration, encouragement, and entertainment from it. But that's it. That rounds up our show. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, and again, congratulations, Spicy White. Jake, hit him with the see ya. See ya! Now, hit that subscribe button, you filthy animal.